My name is Joanne Howard. I'm a behaviorist and a mom to a little boy with Down syndrome and autism spectrum disorder. Can I please appeal to you from my heart? As a parent of a child with special needs, a lot of our family members and even the community at large, they don't understand a lot of our daily challenges. Don't get me wrong, our kids are awesome and we wouldn't trade any amount of money in the world for our kids. But nonetheless, it's very difficult to raise a child with special needs. It really, truly takes a community. And I want to share with you some information that I believe you will find extremely helpful as a parent to provide insight on why your child may be behaving in a certain manner and what are some of the alternative behaviors you can help teach him or her. So please give me a few moments of your time and I'll share some insight.
Before we get started, let's define what ABA is. We hear that term a lot these days. Applied behavior analysis is a type of therapy interested in improving behaviors of social significance. This means we seek to improve a person's communication and language, self-care, such as eating, showering, dressing, to social interaction, motor skills, and academic learning. You can think of it as we help a person develop to his or her full potential so that they can lead meaningful lives in their families and communities. The gold standard for ABA is teaching someone so down the road they'll have the skills necessary for employment and independent living. Did you know in behavior analysis we have our own ABCs? We do what is called ABC data collection. The A stands for antecedent. What happens before the problem behavior? What occurs in the environment? B, the actual problem behavior we're observing in the child. C, the consequence that follows that behavior. Due to our high scientific standards and ethical guidelines, we do not engage in any kind of fads or unproven scientific research methods. We use only empirically sound procedures that we know have generated results. As behavior analysts, we use a lot of tools for direct observation and indirect assessments. We work with parents on surveys and questionnaires and a lot of scientific data collection. For purposes of this presentation to help you at home, we're going to simplify the process. The goal we're seeking here is to find out why your child is engaging or your adult in certain behaviors. What is the payoff? Human behavior is based on doing certain behaviors that are pleasurable. Certain things we're getting from the environment. Even the animals in the wild engage in various activities to eat, sustain life. There's a payoff. So we are going to show you what are the 4 areas that your child is engaging in behavior, perhaps for pleasure or a variety of other reasons, so that you know how to move forward to help him or her. There are what we call in ABA 4 functions of behavior. 4 reasons a child or an adult engages in certain behaviors. And we use the acronym SEAT, S-E-A-T. S for sensory, E for escape, A for attention, and T for tangible. When we speak about sensory, S, it means the person's looking for stimulation, something that's pleasurable to them. Anytime they are anxious or excited, they may engage in this behavior, often when they're alone or in the presence of others. E for escape. That's when the person wants to be removed from a specific activity. They find something in the environment. We call it stimuli, aversive, so they try to escape it. A, attention. Attention is when they're looking for access to people or interaction with a person. T is tangible, when the person's looking for a preferred item or activity, so they're looking to access them. And even in the case of escape, they can be escaping a boring activity, something that's not stimulating. So that's SEAT, 4 functions of behavior: sensory, escape, attention, and tangible. Okay, let's get started. In our scenario, let's say we're working with a gentleman in his 30s, and his trigger for problem behavior, what we call an antecedent in the environment, is loud noises. When other people are talking loudly, or let's say they're screaming or crying in his program, these are triggers for him and he yells out at a high decibel. This really would bother his roommates and peers because it's constantly going on. It scares them, it aggravates them, it makes them very anxious. Needless to say, it creates a wedge between him and developing those important social relationships. not to mention how this repeat yelling over time can strain his vocal cords. His staff typically ignores him planning that they don't want to give attention for that inappropriate behavior, but they sit quietly next to him. Sometimes he's taken out of the room. Then there's this third time where there's actually no demand being placed on him. There's no loud noise in the environment or chaotic activity, and he still yells out. This seems to be a very strange thing, and it's a red flag to us that there may be automatic reinforcement. The goal becomes teaching that child or adult the replacement behavior. What's the appropriate behavior they need to be demonstrating? That's called functional communication training. We teach them how to request, we call that MANS, communicate what they want, the activity, the item. We teach them how to do personal care and life skills, from washing their hands, getting dressed, taking a shower. We use visual schedules to teach them their daily life schedule, and they learn what's coming. It helps them to eliminate anxiety. We also engage in role-playing and modeling the appropriate behavior, in this case, volume control. And we will use an app from the Apple Store to teach them through visual schedules how to lessen the volume of their voice, and it goes from red to green. We also work on self-regulation skills and breathing exercises, very important in coping. Social communication stories, they call them social stories, are used to teach them various lessons that they need to learn in the real world. And the last really important part is tolerance training, how to engage in the environment with others and try to stay for extended periods of time with noise, and how to cope with that. And that's something, again, they've got to live in the real world, and that's our goal, to prepare them for life. My recommendation is to be creative. Many of our kids and adults love pictures of their family and friends. They enjoy social stories with life lessons. They love visual reminders that tell them the expectations and rules. You can make a laminated daily schedule that they can fill in each day with a dry eraser marker. You can also use a communication notebook or a binder with little Velcro pictures that you use with words. Literally, the possibilities are endless. You can also go to YouTube for special videos. We have what we call skill streaming, and that will help you teach your child or adult social skills. And of course, there's social media such as Pinterest and Instagram that will provide you with visual schedules and a wide range of behavioral supports. You have an immense responsibility and the power to ignite a young person's passion for learning. I challenge you to awaken your own creative gifts and make a difference in a young person's life. Thank you.